I should underline that surely the Kremlin has fully weaponized its historical narratives, which are built actually on big lies, semi-truths and other ridiculous speculations that are aimed at manipulating with historical memories of East European nations, creating propagandistic myths for shaping their perceptions on the Second World War and of course glorifying Russia's role in it. Well, such historical revisionism I think has a little effect on Estonia in general. Because of the Soviet occupation, our people are quite immune against the Kremlin's disinformation. There are, of course, some exceptions, as I would say some of the societal groups in Estonia are more susceptible to it, to the Kremlin disinformation, and those are mostly local Russian speakers from older generations who rather tend to recognize Kremlin's self-declared monopoly over the recent history, and they tend to believe the Kremlin's lies about the war as the only true version of it. I would say that among the anti-NATO, anti-EU and anti-Western in general propaganda by the Kremlin, there was no significant increase in amount of disinformation against Estonia as such. Nevertheless, some local agents of influence, inspired of course by the Kremlin, have tried to disseminate disinformation regarding the introduced restrictions. In essence, there were anti-government messages with the aim to spread panic and create sense of distrust. Well, I think they were not successful because the government-led crisis communication in Estonia was quite effective and it addressed all the important issues here. Nevertheless, hostile attempts to influence public opinion during the recent pandemic have demonstrated again that there are still active minority groups in Estonia who rather retranslate Kremlin's agenda and rather work on increasing the societal polarization here. Well, I think that by conducting large-scale military exercises, Russia, of course among other things, sends also a clear threatening signal to the neighboring countries in the region about its readiness to use military power in geopolitical interventions. As an imminent threat, it affects foremost such countries like Georgia and Ukraine, but taking into account various characteristics of that military exercise, I think we will be witnessing again Russia's attempt to change the security balance in the whole Black Sea region. Well, such strategic exercises embed themselves also a powerful tool of persuasive communication that is targeted on weakened societies, in that case weakened societies of Ukraine and Georgia. In the case of Ukraine, the big danger I think is, well, actually very unfortunate coincidental combination of various events and factors at this time. Well, I just named few of them: polarized and disoriented society, distrusted government and political elites, while Ukraine's economy hurt by the pandemic crisis, political encapsulation of the United States, and disagreements within the European Union. So the Kremlin might be willing to use this complicated situation and seed some provocations during the military exercises in order to re-escalate the conflict and reinforce within the Ukraine's society spreading of the toxic narrative of so-called lurking capitulation, and that is very dangerous. So therefore, I am convinced that Ukraine should be prepared both militarily and mentally to withstand the aggression, but at the same time to remain vigilant, very careful and cautious not to overreact on provocations.